Hello there, my name is Matthew and I'm the vicar of St Mary Magdalene Church in Galston. And it's my pleasure to invite you to join us for Lowestoft Living Word, which takes place this year between the 18th and the 20th of October. We'll gather round God's Word, we'll sing God's praises, and we'll enjoy fellowship with one another from across our different churches and denominations, united around God's Word and what He has to say to us. This year we're particularly pleased to be welcoming Andy Prime as our main speaker. Andy is the pastor of Gracemount Community Church, which meets and ministers to a housing scheme on the outskirts of Edinburgh. Andy planted that church along with a team from Charlotte Chapel and Niddry Community Church in 2017 and has been working there as its pastor ever since. This year Andy's going to be helping us to think about the call of the King, particularly from Matthew's Gospel. And I'll let him introduce his theme.
Question. Jesus will make your life better. True or false? I mean, what if you asked Jesus' 12 disciples that question? After they started following him, they found him not only to be homeless but hated, and they themselves became like helpless sheep surrounded by hungry wolves. And in time, pretty much all of them could say, I followed Jesus and I lost my life. Obviously, he would die brutally on a cross, but many of them would be killed too. Philip, tortured and crucified. Matthew, killed by an axe. James, beaten, stoned, and had his brains bashed out with a club. Matthias was stoned and then beheaded. Andrew was crucified. Mark was dragged to pieces. Peter was crucified, head down, feet up. Paul took a sword to the neck. Jude was crucified. Bartholomew was beaten and crucified. Thomas was killed with a spear. Luke was hanged on an olive tree. Simon was crucified. John, seemingly, is the only one who escaped a violent death. And that's what we're confronted with when we read Matthew's Gospel. Jesus is the King who gives life, but Jesus is a King whose call is costly. And following him often does come with great cost. It's true back then, it's true for many people today. And you look at that and you go, why would anyone ever follow him? And that's something of what we're going to look at Lowestoft Living Word. And I hope what we're going to see is there is something better than gaining this world. There is something worse than death. There is someone worth more than yourself. There is something worth losing your life for. That the glory of the King does outshine the cost of his call.
I hope that's whetted your appetite for what might be in store for us this year at Lowestoft Living Word. We'll meet each evening, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at Christ Church in Lowestoft. And then on the Thursday morning there'll be an extra meeting for people particularly in church leadership, where Andy will help us to think about the challenges and the opportunities of ministering in more deprived contexts, speaking very much out of his experience in Scotland. You can find out all the details of the Lowestoft Living Word Conference this year on our Facebook page, or they'll be on the leaflets that I hope you've been given in your churches. I really look forward to welcoming you as we gather round God's Word for Lowestoft Living Word in 2022.